Maisha, it is so good to be back for a third season of Middle Grade with Maisha and Michael.
It is. And like the third season of most shows, we have a little bit of new, some returning favorites, and of course, we have a few plot twists.
So maybe we start with the new?
Sure. First up is a new series in our branches line for emerging readers, Sports Zone. Book one is Hut, Hut, Hike. I'm pretty sure we all know what it's about. With easy to read text, high interest content, fast paced plots, and illustrations on every page, this new series will inspire young football fans while boosting reading confidence and stamina.
Score! We also have a new illustrated series that is perfect for fans of the bad guys. In the terrible trio, all the animals have superpowers, but Zeb the zebra, Margarine the penguin, and Barry the lemur have the absolute worst powers of all. If your superpower has ever been writing neatly, making macaroni and cheese, or blending in with a crosswalk, join Zeb, Margarine, and Barry as they run a cafe and wonder if they will ever get to be a superhero for the day.
And now, let's move on to some returning favorites. In the second installment of the Scare Wave series, Beyond the Grave, strange but beautiful lights begin to appear in the night sky. The kids of Beacon Point soon encounter strange events that spell out paranormal activity, and they'll have to work harder than ever before to make it out alive. Complete with spine-tingling illustrations, this series is perfect for Goosebumps fans who can't get enough of scares.
And finally, Witchlings 4, The Scepter of Memories. Seven, Thorn, and Valley are forced to flee beyond the borders of the 12 towns and into the swirling gray mists of the Enchanted Grim, an uncharted wilderness where no normal witch would ever be able to survive. But there is nothing normal about the Witchlings, their courage or their friendship. Together with their night beasts, they are determined to find a way to save their home. And now, let's hear a little bit more from our authors.
Hi, I'm Tracy West, author of the new Dragon Hill series for Scholastic Acorn. It's illustrated by Carolina Vasquez. Dragon Hill takes place in the world of Dragon Masters, my best-selling series for older readers. And Dragon Hill is a magical place where dragons can visit or find a safe place to live. The main characters are two young dragons, Ember the fire dragon and her best friend Gus, a mushroom dragon. They're still developing their dragon powers. And in the first book, Ember and Gus help search for a magical jewel that goes missing. Gus thinks maybe they're too small to help, but Ember believes they still have to try. I am so excited to be introducing a world of dragons and fantasy to Acorn readers, and I hope you all enjoy exploring this magical world of Dragon Hill with me.
Hi, I'm Erin Entrada Kelly. The Last Resort is the story of 12-year-old Lila Clement, who has a big plan for the summer. She is going to win back her friends who dropped her for being too dramatic. But her plans are thwarted when her mysterious Grandpa Clem dies, and now she, her brother, and her parents have to drive from Phoenix all the way to Ohio while her parents decide what to do with Grandpa Clem's creepy old Victorian inn. But strange things start happening almost immediately. On the way to Ohio, they almost get in a car accident, and after that, Lila starts seeing people that no one else can see. And things only escalate once they get to Castle Inn, Ohio, and she's confronted with that big Victorian inn that holds many, many secrets.
Hi, my name is Tiffany D. Jackson, author of Blood in the Water. Blood in the Water is about a Brooklyn girl named Kalani who is forced to spend a couple of weeks of her summer at the beautiful island of Martha's Vineyard with a family friend until a local boy is found murdered. And now she must help her newfound friends find out what exactly happened. Blood in the Water is actually inspired by so many of my amazing trips to Martha's Vineyard. I absolutely love it there. The culture is amazing. The island is amazing. I love the lobster rolls. I love the ocean. I love everything about it. But there's always some type of mystery that was always around the corner. And so I wanted to bring that to life in a very interesting way. And of course, include sharks because the island is actually exactly where Jaws was filmed. I really hope you enjoy and can't wait to talk to you about it soon.
Hello, readers. I am Alan Gratz, the author of Heroes and a bunch of other books, and I am back this year with a new book called War Games. 13-year-old Evie Harris can't believe her luck. She's going to Berlin to compete in the 1936 Summer Olympics alongside American teammates like track star Jesse Owens. True, there's something creepy about Germany's leader, Adolf Hitler, who watches over the games from his booth high above the stadium. But Evie's just there to win a gold medal in gymnastics. Until she discovers a horrible secret. Behind all the Olympic fanfare, Hitler and the Nazis have Berlin in an iron grip of terror and violence, and war is brewing. Evie gets mixed up in a mysterious plot to help steal Nazi gold, and soon she's navigating the city's darkest corners and hidden passageways, never sure who is a friend and who is a foe. Can Evie stand up to evil and follow her Olympic dreams? You'll have to read War Games to find out.
The Freedom Seeker is about a very brave girl, and her name is Simi. And she gets separated from her mom while crossing the Arizona desert, and she fights to find her mother again. She's 12, like a lot of readers, and her journey takes her through danger, fear, and very, very big decisions. I thought about the book, and it's about fear and flight, which happens to Simi because she has to flee India from religious vigilantism along with her family. It's about loss and longing as she misses her school, her friends, her everyday routine, her hockey game. And also, it's about rescue and reunion because she does find safety and home and gets her family together. I wanted my readers to feel this full journey, start to finish, scared to strong, lost to found.
Hi, I'm Jenny Holm, and I'm thrilled to talk to you today about my new book, Outside. This book is very, very different from anything I've written in the past. I grew up in the 1970s. Childhood was different back then. We basically lived outside. We played on the streets until our mothers called us home for dinner. We rode our bikes everywhere. We ran around in the woods and swam in the creek without any adult supervision. We drank from the garden hose. We were independent. Outside is a book about a situation that is the exact opposite of my childhood experience. Outside takes place in a post-apocalyptic future. The protagonist at the heart of Outside is 12-year-old Razzie. She has lived her entire life in a compound with boarded-up windows called The Refuge. It's where Razzie and her family and several other families were able to escape to after a terrible world war. Outside explores the idea of what happens to people when they are forced to live inside, away from the sky, the trees, the grass, in order to simply survive.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Nielsen, and I am so excited to introduce to you my new novel, The Free State of Jax. In this story, on the night before his 12th birthday, Jackson Averett sneaks out of his aunt and uncle's home where he lives, and he sneaks over to the abandoned property next door. There he launches a raft, raises a flag, and declares that raft his own nation, called the Free State of Jax. The problem is, the house next door, it's not abandoned. An old man lives there named Owen O'Keefe. Everyone in town knows that 9 years earlier, Owen had killed his brother. So obviously Jax can't stay, but he can't leave either. As soon as he leaves, his nation is no longer a nation, and he will have to go back to live with his aunt and uncle. I hope you will enjoy The Free State of Jax.
Hi, I'm Alex Gino. 10 years ago, my first middle grade book, Melissa, was published. and today I'm here to tell you about my 6th. Chris makes a friend. Chris is a one best friend kind of kid who's been sent with their terribly annoying little sister to spend the summer at their grandparents while their mom recovers from back surgery for chronic pain. Chris finds out that while she loves to spend time alone, she can also get lonely, and that, maybe her annoying little sister just might be the one who understands her best. As a one best friend kind of kid with a terribly annoying little sister, I can empathize, even if Chris figures out that her sister is a person way earlier than I did. Oh, and there's something else going on, but I'm going to be cryptic and say you need to read it to find out what it is. Thanks for listening.
I'm Erin Soderbergh Downing, author of What Happened Then. In this mystery set on an island, 2 cousins, Jax and Avery, are being forced to spend the summer out on their family's old island estate, helping get the place ready to sell. No one in the family has been out to this island for years, not since the summer one of the kids in their parents' generation died. It's a summer no one ever talks about, but when Jax and Avery start to find hidden pieces of their aunt's old diary around the island, they start to wonder if maybe they can piece together what happened that final summer. Maybe they could actually glue their broken family back together again, if only they could uncover the truth about what happened then. When I first started writing this book, I actually moved into a little cabin on an island in the middle of a lake, just like the one in this story, because I wanted to sink into the isolation of this setting. And now I'm so excited for readers to go on this twisty, character-driven mystery filled with dark family secrets out on Crooked Lake.
I'm Gordon Corman, and I'm excited to tell you about my newest book, Snoop. It's about a kid who breaks both his legs in a skiing accident on spring break and is stuck at home for weeks with both legs in cast. He's so bored. And just to connect himself to the world, he starts checking out live feeds from cameras around town. Before you know it, he's hooked, watching classmates when they don't know he's looking, spying on neighbors, and discovering a few highly unusual things that no one else is noticing, things that just might be illegal. I got the idea for Snoop from an old Alfred Hitchcock movie from back before I was born called Rear Window. A guy stuck at home and becomes obsessed with spying on neighbors. The thing is, in 1953, they didn't have the kind of technology we do. There's never been a better time to be a middle school Snoop. But the biggest problem, way back then, and especially today, is that once you start snooping, the hardest thing is to look away.
Hi, I'm Jen Calanita, author of the upcoming book, The Taylors. The Taylors is the start to a beautiful friendship that is formed when 4 girls named Taylor, all after Taylor Swift, wind up in the same homeroom class together and realize they have a lot more in common than just Taylor. Their friendship is sparked, and together these girls decide they are going to find a way to get the hottest, hardest concert ticket on the planet, tickets to see Taylor on the Eras Tour. This book is a love letter for Swifties like myself, kids who got to see Taylor in concert, those who didn't. This is the ultimate wish fulfillment about 4 very special girls and a friendship. And I hope you'll enjoy reading it when it comes out this October 7th.